would you give up 2 hours? We're going for 8:30 to 10:30 to have a shot at bringing in a $20,000 day.
You're listening to ChiroCandy,
the podcast of sweet chiropractic success. Now, here's your host, Billy Sticker.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the ChiroCandy podcast. Today we have back with us Dr. Jeff Finnegan. We've done several different things in the past several years, but we're going to talk about how you can have a $15,000 to $20,000 day on top of whatever month you're already having. So he's got some great things that they're doing that he's kind of perfected and they've seen with their clients. And Dr. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Billy. It's good to see you.
Yes.
How were the races?
Yes. So we were at the F1 races in Austin. It was our third year. We bring our camper, and it was the best one yet. And so much of what we enjoy is the people that camp around us, because we have one of it's not the most premium spots, but we have one of them, and it's right on turn 4. And it's, we have first right of refusal. So as long as we renew it every year, we're in the exact same spot. So we've really got to know all of the people around us.
So you're camping out for 2 or 3 days and taking all this in? You wear earplugs during the whole thing?
For 4 days. No, it's actually not that loud. The F1 cars the newer ones aren't as loud as what they were, years ago. The Porsche Carrera Cup, those are pretty loud. But it's fantastic. It's such a great time. But
awesome.
Thank you for asking.
Let's talk about free money.
Let's do it. I think we all agree that if right now, if we were to ask somebody, hey, I want you to think about your favorite patient, that they would, right now, there's probably 2 or 3 people that come to everybody's mind. They get excited when they see that they're on the schedule for the day. What makes those people great is they're compliant. They make all their appointments. They typically refer, but they're educated. Like they understand they've got dipped, right? They understand what they're doing and why they're there. And it's normally because of the patient education, which normally starts on your day 1 or day 2. But there are other ways to start that education, to have them showing up for their day 1 already dipped. Is that a kind of a good way to say it? So,
absolutely. And are you familiar with the 100th monkey theory?
I am not.
Oh, this is a great story. And I'll bring it back around. I'm going to go off to an island in Japan in the 50s and 60s, where these macaques were being studied by these anthropologists or whatever. And don't worry, folks, we'll come back to the $20,000 day, the free money, in a moment. But they observed these monkeys cleaning their sweet potatoes. They're covered with dirt and sand. And they suddenly, nobody taught them, all of a sudden these people, or these monkeys, were taking their sweet potatoes down to the beach and rinsing them off. And they were surprised to observe these animals doing this. And roughly at the same time, there was some sort of a saturation in the consciousness, and monkeys on islands 50 miles away, there was no way for this information to be transmitted, but there was some sort of a mindset that happened. And though we talk about educating our patients, some patients just they figure out how to clean their sweet potatoes, and that chiropractic is right for them, that they should be involved in this more than just getting rid of their sciatica or their headache or whatever is ailing them. And so patient education is a wonderful thing. And I'm the first chiropractor in the state of Washington to have a television show that ran throughout the entire state for 3 years. And then a few years later, I had a radio program that we did for, I think another 2 or 3 years, until Como Radio picked up the Mariners. And so I love chiropractic education, and I love what you're doing with our profession. But you can talk to some people and they'll never get it. And then other people, they just pick it up. They say, oh, I should probably bring my children in. And I don't know how to breed those people or to raise them into our ranks, but they're out there, and some people are just ready and some aren't. But back to your favorite patients, we've been having discussions with our folks, and we're formalizing this for the first time. We all chiropractors that have struggled have probably had some little, Father's Day event or Valentine's event, and hey, who do you know, and all that sort of thing. Well, we're taking that concept up a couple of notches, and our next event is going to be for Black Friday. And I've got a few clients. It's a boutique. I've got a few doctors that I work with, and we're going for a $20,000 to $25,000 day. One of my friends and one of my guys just sent me a text, and it said, well, we had a 5-hour, $47,000 day on an off day. 5 hours is longer than I want to do it on an off day, but what you can conceive, what you can believe, what you can conceive and believe, you can achieve, right?
Right.
But you have
And
to
for
put
close
in the
to 10
work.
grand an hour,
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
worse.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good pay. So it dawned on me, this has been hiding in plain sight to formalize this. And we're actually having our doctors doing it 3 and 4 times per year with the hope, and like you said, Billy, to have in addition to your standard days, your standard income, add $20,000 2 and 3 times a year in 2 hours without working any harder. And actually, like you said at the beginning, picking your favorite patients who would fit into this rather than beating everybody up and sending out mass emails to all your patients and creating somewhat of a disruption. This goes to our favorite patients 2 and 3 times a year.
So I think this is great, but I do think we need to say all the legalese. This is not a guarantee. We're not
No,
saying if you do this, you're going to have, these exact results, but you are going to share some stories of how you've done it and some of your clients, what they're doing and how they're accomplishing this. And then how the doctors who are listening, how they can participate in some things where you're going to show them step by step, give them everything
yeah.
they need to do the
Well,
same
we
thing.
won't have enough time today to do that, and it's a little bit involved to get it right. I mean, you can have the best of intentions. We all chiropractors are great at having wonderful intentions and we keep hanging into the wall. We've figured this one out, and it's for anybody that's interested, just contact Billy. Billy, if you would invite your doctors or send them a link or something in addition to this, if they would like to do a 3-day training for your staff. I haven't even formalized, if there should be an exchange on that, but it'll be minimal. And the question to ask yourselves, doctor, is would you give up 2 hours on Black Friday morning while you're getting all the tryptophan out of your system? Would you give up 2 hours? We're going for 8:30 to 10:30 to have a shot at bringing in a $20,000 day, and that's what my guys are doing.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested, contact Billy. I don't have a website on this or anything like that. Contact Billy. Billy, you can you can forward it to me, and I will put together a half an hour webinar to introduce the concept for the
Sure.
doctors.
Sure. Yeah. And we do want to say that it's a spin on doing workshops,
Right.
just, the community workshops,
Correct.
but yeah, there's a certain way that you guys are doing them that it's not just about, hey, here's chiropractic, cervical issues, headaches, and
Right.
um, lumbar issues and sciatica. There's some specific things you guys are doing. So it's not just about getting a couple of new patients. It's really about being able to monetize this and make a big impact on your community and then obviously your business.
Obviously, your business. I mean, we're in this to serve people, but I like, you mentioned Porsches earlier. I like Porsches and airplanes and travel and all that stuff. Zig Ziglar used to say that, uh, uh, money is the root of all evil and all that stuff. And he said, no, actually, uh, God made diamonds and the good stuff for his people, not for Satan's crowd. And so a lot of doctors can't get over the fact that they have a tough time commercializing their efforts, I guess, and doing it in a way that they're comfortable.
There's I actually wrote a book, has nothing really to do with chiropractic. It's called The Blessed Entrepreneur.
Oh,
And in
awesome.
the it's really about permission to prosper. And it's a Christian book. And so one of the things that I like in there, which I wrote it, so I like a lot of the stuff in there. But one of the stories, or not even just stories, but one of the things I like to point out is the first time gold is mentioned in the Bible was in the Garden of Eden. But why did they need gold? There was nothing to buy.
Right?
It was just providence. Like it was just, it's like, I think it is okay. I don't think God has an issue with you having money. He doesn't want money to have you.
Right.
And, something else Zig Ziglar says is you can help enough, or you can have anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they
Get
want.
what they want.
And
Yeah.
right now, there are so many people in your community
Yeah.
that want they
That's right.
want health. They want wellness. They don't want their
Yeah.
kids taking medication. They want to be able to, sleep better. They want chiropractic. They don't know it's called chiropractic.
Exactly.
Whenever you can get your message in front of the right people, the people that, I firmly believe your favorite patients that you're ever going to have in practice, you haven't even met yet. They're out there.
Absolutely.
They're out
Absolutely.
there. And you should have that mindset every time you meet a patient. Is this going to be my favorite patient?
Right.
Like, because it might be. And if you treat everybody like that, they're going to sense that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And the other thing that we what we teach with our guys, that some people, and again, some get it and some struggle with it, is when people come in and they tell you, I'm here because of X. I've got this problem and I've got that problem. And your job is to, first of all, not accept prima facie what they're telling you. Yes, that's what motivated them. But what's over the horizon that you can't see, Mrs. Jones? You don't understand that this problem that you just described to me is a process. It's not the end result. And and I always ask them, I say, where do you think this is? If you don't get somebody to resolve this problem, where do you think this is headed? And that's a cognitive question. They have to lean back and they say, oh, this guy's serious because he's not just asking me. I don't get to just stay on autopilot when I'm in front of this doctor. He's calling me out and I have to actually think, well, I guess this is going to get worse because I've been taking more medication and more medication. I said, yeah, you're covering it up. You're pushing it down and you're not getting the problem resolved. And guess where this is going to lead to? More misery and an early demise, if I'm being honest with you.
Right? The quality of our life is determined by the quality of questions we ask ourselves. And then we allow other people to ask us, right? To really challenge us in that.
Right.
So I think that's fantastic. And let's face it, there's a lot of chiropractors out there that have done workshops. And there are probably people listening to this that have done them before successfully, maybe not 15 to $20,000 in a day, but they've done them successfully. But right now they're not doing them. So,
Right.
you know what? Even if just this episode on this podcast motivates you to go out, you know what? I'm going to go do another workshop. Great. But what I want to encourage you to do is get with Dr. Jeff and go through the training that he's put together, because what they're doing to really magnify the return and the impact that these workshops are having, not just in the community, but with these doctors in their offices, it's a great spin on things. So
it is a
yes,
great.
you know what? If you want to go do a workshop right now, do one, for October, great. But I love what you're saying. Like you guys are going to be doing something special on Black Friday,
Yep.
kind of an event-based specific time. I think that's good. So we will put a link in the description. Um, or you know what? Let's do this. We'll go to chirocandy.com/workshop. And then that'll get you more information on for
Perfect.
Dr. Jeff on what they're doing, how you can connect with him and get signed up for their program. So
And before we wrap up, I just want to say, some doctors out there watching this, and he might be saying, "I do $15,000 a month on a good month. How in the world could I possibly do $20,000 in a day?" I want to assure you, if you have a couple dozen good people in your sphere, we can help you mine that and bring that oil to the surface. And another doctor might be saying, "Well, I do $120,000 a month. Big deal, $20,000 a day. I do those all the time." Well, what's wrong with an extra if you did it 3 times a year? And maybe in your situation, you could do a 25 or $30,000 day in a 2 or 3 hour period on an off day. And by the way, this is for your staff to handle also. It's not just on the doctor's shoulders. But a guy that's doing $1 million a year, I haven't seen them scoff at an extra 60 or $70,000, falling into their pocket either. So this is for anybody that feels they've got more juice in the pipes.
I think this would also be good for those doctors that have associates and they're putting
Yeah,
it on their associates to
right
go out
on.
and and eat what they kill.
That's right.
Here's a good way to have your associates be able to go out
Yeah.
and do these to help build their books, help build their patient base.
Yep.
Um,
And they don't even have to go out. They can just do it within. This is so logical. And like I said earlier, it's been hiding in plain sight for my 45-year career.
yeah,
So,
I think it's really great. Like we should all be doing what we can to educate the community, educate, our patients, and we should be doing in-office workshops and things like this. But I love what you guys are doing, just really taking it to the next level. So if you're
thank
listening
you.
to this, you need to do these events. Go out and do one. But
Yeah.
ideally, to make sure you're not leaving anything on the table, go to chirocandy.com/workshop. And then we're going to get you connected with Dr. Jeff so you can sign up for the training he's doing to really learn how to maximize every step of the process.
Awesome.
All
And
right.
they can come and look and have a chat with me and sit through a little complimentary webinar. And if it scratches where you itch, great. If not, that's fine too.
Yep. All right.
All
Dr.
right,
Jeff,
man.
thanks so much for being on the show today.
All right. Now I want to go to an F1 race, but not for 3 days. I'd just like to go for a couple hours sometime.
Yeah. Well, Sunday's the day to go, but yeah, we go Friday. They do, a lot of practice stuff. They do some sprint races, sprint qualifying. Like the Austin is great. I've never been to the one in Vegas. I don't know if I want to go to that one or Miami. I may hit up some in other countries one day, but yeah.
All right.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thanks, brother.